it's Di here from Di's Den, and this week I'd like to show you how I made this. It's another easel card, but this one is called a drop front easel card. So it lays flat and it fits into a regular size envelope, but we just pop the bottom out and it stands up. Now I did this one originally and I just curved the bottom and curved the top to make a different effect, so you can do all sorts of different things with that. So, and it just lays flat like an easel card and just pops up nicely, and I just think it's really cute and a little bit different than a normal easel card. So that's the one we're going to make, and I'm going to move these out of the way, just pop them up the back there out the way for a moment, and I'm going to use this beautiful new set, and I love it to death, called Happiness Abounds. This comes with beautiful dies and a lovely stamp set here. So you've got this lovely lattice one, as well as the flowers and the leaves, and a bit of an edging one there. So, and it comes, you can buy it that as a bundle, and if you buy it as a bundle with the dies, you get 10% off. But you also can buy this beautiful paper, which is called Hues of Happiness, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Look at the back of that paper, isn't that gorgeous? And it's just got some absolutely gorgeous paper. And here's another piece which you've already seen me use for a previous project, and I just look, I can't give it enough praise. So I've actually cut my flowers out of this because there's a purple piece here and we're doing a purple card. So I've actually cut the flowers out of the paper, say stamping them and then colouring them in today. And look at the back of that. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? So, yeah, I absolutely love this paper. I can see myself buying at least one more pack of it. So let's show you what we're going to be doing. Okay, I'm going to be using this stamp set. And I'm going to be using Wishing You All the Happiness You Can Imagine and the Happy Birthday. And I'm going to also stamp one of these little flowers here and colour those in using Highland Heather, what do you call these? Markers, not markers, blend pens. Oh my goodness, I'm having a mental hooey. This set also comes with these beautiful glossy dots, which you saw me use in a previous one when I did the pink box with all the pieces, but we're going to be using these lovely purple ones to finish this card off, and that's Gorgeous Grape. So that's what we're going to be doing our card in Gorgeous Grape. So for our main piece of our card, we're going to need a piece that measures 11 3/4 by 4 1/8, and another piece that measures 5 7/8 by 4 1/8. Now you're going to need 2 pieces for your layers that measure 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, and one that measures 4 5/8 by 3 7/8. For our designer series paper layer, you're going to need a piece that measures 5 3/8 by 3 5/8, and for our drop layer, a piece that measures 4 3/8 by 3 5/8. We're also going to need a piece of white, which I've dropped on the floor somewhere, so I'm going to turn you off in a moment and go and get that. That measure for your insert, that measures 5 3/8 by 3 5/8, and then for our stopper rather, you're going to need a piece that measures 3 7/8 by 1 1/4 and 3 5/8 by 1 inch, and then we just need a scrap for our sentiment that we're going to put on the front. So, and that's depending on what size sentiment you're using, that's the piece you'll be needing. So I'm just going to go and find my piece that's fallen on the floor, so I'll be back in a sec. Here we are again, and here's our piece that I dropped on the floor on the way over from the other desk, which, as I said, for the insert is 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. So that's all the pieces we're going to need. We're going to use our scoreboard first off, and we're going to score our 2 pieces of Gorgeous Grape here, which is our 11 3/4 by 4 1/8 and Don't forget we're using the smaller end, right? So that's the smaller end, sorry. The smaller end because we're using cardstock. And we're going to score this at 5 7/8. And then we're going to score our other piece that is 5 7/8 long by 4 1/8 at 1 inch. And that's all the scoring we're going to do. So we'll pop those board down here. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually just, where this score line is here, we're just going to, oh gosh, got bits and pieces going there, but just notch that in, just that little bit like that before we do our scoring and burnishing. So then we're going to fold and burnish all our score lines, which is that one there, and then our major one on this one. Now when you're doing this card, just make sure that your two pieces are exactly the same width. Make sure they are both 4 1/8, because otherwise if a little bit sticks out the side it's going to look funny. So then we're going to actually glue this piece with the tab on the inside, like so. So we're going to pop a bit of glue on along this edge here of the tab. Whoops. And let's pop that over there, and then we're going to pop this up against this one. So the best bet is actually to pop it onto the bottom like so, making sure that it's nice and flush on both sides and along the bottom. Once you're happy with that, turn it up this way. Hang on a moment, my door's just swinging open on its own. Ooh, that's scary. And we're going to just give that a nice burnish down. And it doesn't matter if there's a little bit of glue sticking up there, because we're going to pop some inserts in there. So, but just making sure that it is flush down the sides here. So if it's a little bit out, just pop it over and give it a nice burnish along the bottom, so that it's flush on the side, so when the card's closed you can't see pieces hanging out the side. Now this piece that's smaller on the bottom here is the bottom part of our drop fold. So that piece is the part that's going to drop down, and this is going to sit up like so. So let's pop this all together now. So we'll pop that out of the way, move those, and we're going to bring in our 2 pieces of card and 2 pieces of designer series paper and glue those together like so. So it's just such a shame when you've got such beautiful paper on both sides to make a choice of which side you're going to use. But I just thought these little flowers look just so pretty. So I'm using Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather here. So just so that it's a lovely purple card. And pop that one together with that one, like so. So then we're going to glue the longest one onto the front. So we're going to have to make sure that we've got the front of the card, which is the long piece with the flat piece at the bottom. So let's move that out of the way like so, and glue this onto the front of the card. Just making sure if you've got a directional pattern that you put your designer series paper in the correct orientation. With mine it's just fairly close. You know, you could have this paper either way, so it wouldn't really matter. And because I've got this one with it's got like a pinky flower, and then the purple, and then this is Pool Party, but I think that one, I'm not sure what that one is offhand. I'm going to make sure that I put them on the same side so that they actually come down on the same side. So I'm going to pop this one on here. Now this is a fairly quick card to make too, by the way. We're going along really quite well at the moment. And that's the inside part of our card, the drop part of our card. So it's sort of like flows, being this pattern's got. So if you've got a pattern that's, you know, can direct straight down, it's better if you do that. So let's pop that out of the way, and we will now stamp our insert. So I've got Gorgeous Grape ink here, and I'm going to stamp the wishing you every happiness you can imagine. Right in the centre like so. And then using my Memento, I'm going to stamp my little bunch of flowers. I'm going to stamp them down the bottom here. Just to give it a little something else on the inside. And then using my Highland Heather, I'm going to use the Highland Heather light one, and I'm using the writing end because I found these flowers are so small. I didn't bring over a green one, so I'm not going to do the green leaves. So I'm just going to colour these in. I could go and get the others, that won't take me a second. So I'm going to go and get the others. I'll be back. The two colours here, and I have Old Olive in the dark just for the leaves, which I'm going to just, again, I'm using the writing end. And I have Daffodil Delight, which I'm going to use the writing end, again, just for the little centres of the flowers. Oh, not Daffodil Delight, that's Mango Melody, sorry. So that's what I ended up using, so let's pop them out of the way. We can now glue this onto the other piece of our layer. And it just sort of just brings the inside close to the outside then. And then we're going to pop that onto the inside. So we're going to open our card up, pull our flap down, and it goes on this centre section here. So that's our centre section where we do our writing of our message to whoever the recipient is. That fits in there beautifully. And our card is coming together just nicely. Look at that, how gorgeous does that look already. So we're going to do our stopper next. So I'm going to stamp my happy birthday onto this one using the Gorgeous Grape. Oh. Now this piece of card here measures 3/4 of an inch by 3.5 inches long. You can trim it down if you like. So that's that bit there, and I'm using my trusty Banners punch here. I'm going to turn that over so that the underside shows, so when I put it in there I can see whether or not I'm cutting off any of the end of the tail of the words. So, and just by making sure you turn it over, you make sure that you get this nice and square on that end. So wow, that's just perfect. Look at that. So that was 3.5 by 3/4 of an inch, and this one is 3 7/8 by 1 3/4 inches, 1 1/4 inches, and this piece is 3 5/8 by 1 inch. So once again, because my pattern goes the same way as that, I'm going to pop that on here at that spot. So I'm going to use some dimensions on the back here, wherever they might be. Here we go. And pop some of these along this edge, like so. Oh, that was a bit wonky, wasn't it? Let's pop a little bit on that end there, so we don't get a wonky end. There we go. I'll pop that onto the front. Oh, come off. They don't want to come off today. And if they turn upside down and land back on it, they seem to stick to it. So we're going to make sure that this mesh matches onto the same on this side. So we're going to work out where we want it, and we only want it to be approximately, you know, 1/4 of an inch, I guess, 1/2 an inch up from the bottom of the card, making sure it's nice and flush, straight, and that should match in nicely with the edge of the layer here. So, and that will sit up against there just really lovely. And we'll pop a couple more dimensions onto the back of this one, as long as they get off my finger, that is. And pop our little happy birthday onto the front like so. Now we're going to lay this one inside like so, and we're going to decorate. So now I cut these out of the paper. So I've got, out of one strip, I had 4 large flowers, 2 medium and 1 small, and a couple of leaves. So we're going to pop these onto here in a nice sort of manner. Which way should I go? Like something like that. So let's start with one of these bigger ones. And he goes around that way. And we'll pop another one down here, I think. That side, I think. So let's pop that one down there. Oh, stuck to my finger. And I think that one just in there. Should we put it in underneath or on top? I think on top. Like so. And then I've used a couple of these leaves that I cut out of the paper as well. So I've got a few extra flowers, and we all know who's going to get them. On the day that I'm actually recording this, my mum's actually doing a craft fair, so I hope she has a great day. Okay, so that's the front of our card done. So it's going to stand up like that. Oh yeah, well, that's just gorgeous. I absolutely love it. So we're going to pop that down again. We're going to pop some of these beautiful gems on here. I'm going to put these big ones on the front. And I'm going to put a couple of these little ones on the end of the words, like so. And I'm just happy with that. I might put a butterfly on there later on, I'm not sure. But that's our card for today. I think it's gorgeous. I hope you will give that one a try. And don't forget, if you like my video, please give me a like, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I do answer all comments that are made, unless they're illicit, and then they get deleted. So if you're one of those sort of people, don't even bother, because it will get deleted, and that's it, because I don't put up with that. If you would like the written tutorial for this, follow the link down at the bottom here, and that will take you to Di's Damn Facebook group, and there you'll find the written tutorial for this card, and it's written in English with both metric and imperial measurements onto it. And I will see you again next week. Bye for now.